Slave positions are a powerful way to maximize the power gap in your Dom sub relationship, especially when you approach them in layers for advanced erotic training. So stay tuned because today we're covering 12 advanced slave positions for you to try in your dynamic. Slave positions can be as simple or advanced as you desire and can communicate a wide range of layered movements as we've discussed in the last two videos. So check them out if you haven't already. But today we're covering four seated positions, four kneeling positions, and four lying positions with one exception, but we'll get to that in a moment. Now, these positions are advanced for a couple of reasons. One, the poses themselves. These positions tend to be more complex and require a higher degree of flexibility and athleticism, and modifiers. Many dominants choose to layer a number of modifiers to these positions for even deeper communication and more detailed instructions. But again, this is the kinky buffet. It's all about your unique preferences, your submissive's physical capacity, and how you wish for these positions to serve your dynamic. So let's begin with these four seated positions and work our way down to the floor. Our first three poses are variations that build upon one another, starting with seated legs together or seated at ease, as I prefer, where the submissive sits on the dominant's chosen platform with their legs together and toes pointed, resting their hands in their lap, palms up, to signify a position of rest, waiting to be called upon. Seated attention is just like at ease, except here the submissive places their arms by their sides with their fingers pointed as well. My lovely model here shows head neutral, but again, that can be adjusted with any of the modifiers we've discussed in the last two videos. Seated legs crossed has the submissive doing just that, crossing their legs knee over the other instead of placing their feet on the floor. Again, toes remain pointed, and in this example, I instructed my model to add the box behind modifier as arm placement, but again, you can choose anything you wish. Seated classic damsel is by far the most precise of our seated poses, where the submissive kneels, but then slides their feet out to the side so they're leaning slightly. The submissive then clasps their hands behind their back, rolling their shoulders back with their head humble and toes pointed, as always. If I had to choose a favorite position, it would likely be our next one, simply because of how often I use it. I require kneeling Nadu as the default kneeling position for all of my submissives, where they kneel, spread their legs wide, and place their hands on their thighs, palms up. Now, I personally prefer head humble as a modifier, but you can adjust head position and gaze as you like. Kneeling kiss the floor is a delicious pose and one that works very well to precede punishment while receiving a lecture for misbehavior or simply as a physical demonstration of surrender, where the submissive kneels and places their hands to the sides of their knees, palms on the floor. And then they lower their head to the floor, resting their chest on their legs. You yoga lovers will recognize the next position as child's pose, but I much prefer the title Abase Yourself, where the submissive takes on the same position as Kiss the Floor, except here they fully extend their arms in front of them, palms resting on the floor. Kneeling PNP, the acronym being Pussy Nipple Punishment, is by far the most physically challenging of the lineup today, so it's not for every submissive, especially those who struggle with severe back pain or sciatica. Because in this pose, the submissive kneels, spreads their legs as wide as possible, and then places their hands behind with their fingers pointing behind them. From there, the submissive should round their shoulders, arch their back, and stick out their chest to fully expose themselves for sadistic punishment. At the start, I said there was one exception to our laying positions, and that's what we're covering next. Starting with a basic all fours position, where the submissive gets on their hands and knees and flattens their back, which can be used as a tabletop if you're into human furniture or forniphilia. From that basic pose, we move into good pet and naughty pet, as my lovely model flows through so beautifully here. Good pet begins like a basic all fours, except the submissive spreads their legs hip width to expose themselves to their owner. Naughty pet starts like good pet, but this time the submissive goes from head neutral to head proud, arching their back and sticking their ass up for their owner. Now we move on to laying poses, starting with slut sacrifice, which is basically when the submissive lies in a supine position on their back and forms an X with their body, extending their arms above their head and spreading both arms and legs wide. Laying penitent slut is for naughty slaves who need to remember their place. And as such, the submissive lies prone or face down, spreads their legs wide, and places their arms in box behind their back. But you can always use a modifier for the arms if the submissive's body requires. If you ever did glamour shots, you know this next pose well, and it's simply called the pose, where the submissive lies prone but props themselves up on their elbows, which form a box shape, and place their hands on opposite forearms. From there, the submissive bends their knees and raises their feet off the floor, crossing their ankles and pointing their toes. Now, this is a very demure pose, perfect for dominants who hold a high value for aesthetics in submission. If you're using any of these slave positions in your dynamic or want to try one of them, comment and let me know which ones were the most appealing to you. And go over to patreon.com/LXerotica for tons of submissive training resources, including my latest visual guide of over 24 slave positions. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and share with a kinky friend, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.